Two of the fundamentals of Thoughtonomy are courage and hacking your thinking. Courage is something that we have to force a little bit. Who are you? Do you like who you are? Do you love who you are? The underlying premise of this is putting yourself first. And in terms of hacking our thinking, like most of us, we don't put ourselves first. If you know who you are, you like who you are, you get to define what success means to you. It's more priority management. Okay, time management's all about knowing your priorities. At what point in your day do you ever give yourself any time for you? Everybody, welcome back. We're going to be going through chapter 5 of Thoughtonomy today. Just small little snippets for you, just to get a taste of what you could expect if you decided to pick the book up. And this chapter, we start going now into the 4 steps of Thoughtonomy. So I do give 4 aspects of where you can claim your life back, but how to start thinking for yourself and to start reclaiming the thoughts and beliefs that you truly believe in, and not the conditioned ones or the ones that are being conditioned upon you through your upbringing and through your childhood. And before we even get to the 4 steps, 2 of the fundamentals of Thoughtonomy are courage and hacking your thinking. Courage is not something we as human beings, you and I, that we have in natural abundance. Courage is something that we have to force a little bit. If you understand the concept of your unconscious mind, the primary directive of your unconscious mind, which stores all these conditions, thoughts, beliefs, values, morals, and principles, its main primary directive is to keep you safe and warm. So this concept of a comfort zone is very real. If you've ever had to stretch yourself into doing something that doesn't feel comfortable or familiar, you can feel it within your entire body. There's something that pulls you back. That's your unconscious mind going, well, hang on, we haven't done this before. This feels unfamiliar. You may not be safe. And we retreat. So having a little bit of courage to push yourself beyond that which has always felt comfortable is something that you're going to have to find and work on. And we do that by doing little steps and stretching ourselves little step by little step before we get to the point where you realize, actually, the way that I've been thinking before, it's not only been holding me back, but the fears that I have are not genuine or real. And that's a process that you have to find for yourself in terms of how I push myself step by step out of my comfort zone. But the second aspect is we have to learn to transform or to hack the way that we think. The whole concept of this book is to highlight to you and to allow you to find out for yourself, what are these thoughts and what are these beliefs that I've been hanging on to my whole life? Are they serving me well? And if they're not, where did these thoughts and beliefs come from? And why do I believe this? And why do I think that? So we've kind of gone through that. And now in terms of hacking your thinking, we have to almost question our beliefs and question our thought processes if they are not serving you well. So we get into the first step and the first action point of Thoughtonomy, and the title of the chapter is Who Are You? And I never forget, I was sitting in a conference. I can actually go back there right now. I was sitting in Orlando, Florida. I was in a conference for entrepreneurs. There have been entrepreneurs that had come from around the world to listen to a multifaceted range of speakers. It was actually a very good conference. In fact, I think that year one of the headline speakers was John Travolta, which was quite an experience. The one day was John Travolta and the day before was Al Pacino. So it was amazing to see them on stage. But sitting there on day 1, I was sitting at the back of the room because I was actually speaking on day 2. I was scheduled to do a 20-minute version of my lessons from a traffic light talk. And I was trying to take in the room, so I was sitting in the back, and the magnitude and the size of this was huge. I mean, imagine 1,000 people in a room. And I wasn't quite paying notice or attention to the speaker. It was a gentleman by the name of Nido Qubein, probably one of the best speakers that I've ever heard on stage. But up until this quote, I was lost in my own world. I was going over my talk notes. I was trying to take in the vibe until he said the following words. He said, life doesn't give you what you expect. Life gives you who you are. And I remember looking up and going, whoa, that's powerful. And he repeated that quote twice, and he just kept quiet in between the 2 repetitions. And you could almost feel the whole room go, whoa, life gives you who you are. So take that into the concept of what I've been talking about in terms of our conditioned thoughts, our conditioned beliefs, how they impact the way we behave. Your behaviors and your actions impact the results that you have in your life. What if we stripped all of that away and we actually questioned, who am I? Like, take all of that away. Take all away everything that's been conditioned, all the thoughts and beliefs that we've lived our entire lives following, and go, who am I? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? Where am I talented? What are my passions? What gets me up in the morning? Who's around me when I'm happy? Who's around me when I'm sad? What are the influences that impact me positively and negatively? And what if I had to reset and go, this is who I am. These are my strengths. These are my passions. These are the things that I want to do in my life that would make me happiest. Who would you be? Who are you? And I think it's quite a powerful retrospective chapter because it actually gives you tips. It gives you exercises to focus on that can help you find this. And I think the premise or the underlying premise of this is putting yourself first. Who are you? Do you like who you are? Do you love who you are? And in terms of hacking our thinking, like most of us, we don't put ourselves first. We don't put our needs, especially if you're parents or if you're responsible for the lives of somebody else. Putting yourself first almost seems selfish. That's how we've been conditioned to think. You don't put yourself first. You don't love yourself. Somebody loves themselves, they're arrogant. Well, look at that person. They just love themselves. And that's not what I'm talking about. If you know who you are and you like who you are, you get to define what success means to you. I'll say that again. When you know who you are and you like who you are, you get to define what success means for you because you can set the goals and targets and you can set the course of your life in the direction of that which will make you happy. So you've got to know who you are first. You've got to love who you are. You don't get a replacement you. You're stuck with you, unfortunately. There's nothing you can do about it. So why not strip away all the conditioned thoughts and beliefs and get back to knowing exactly who you are. Love who you are. Because when you know who you are, you get to define what success means to you. When you don't know who you are, society will define that for you. So you either get, from this point forward in your life, you either get to drift off allowing society and the thoughts and the opinions of others to dictate what is acceptable and happy for you, or you get to sit back and go, no, actually, this is who I am, this is who I want to be, and this is where I want to go, and I'm going to move in that direction, knowing that that will make me happy, regardless of the opinion of anybody else. It's a powerful place to be in. It really is. But how are you going to do it? Right? How are you going to do it amongst the chaos of life? We always talk about this treadmill. We wake up, we take our kids to school, we go to work, we come home, we make dinner for the kids, we go to bed half drained and exhausted. At what point in your day do you ever give yourself any time for you? So there's time management sounds so boring, I know it, right? But it's more priority management. Okay, time management's all about knowing your priorities. So what are your priorities? Family, business, community, and yourself. Those are the four aspects that you can prioritize your time by. Most people will put the you time last. And that's where energy management comes in. And I explain this in the book. Managing your time is all about setting your priorities and then giving your most or first available time to priority number 1, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4. If you're putting yourself at the bottom of that list, this influences energy. And energy management is all about where you put yourself on that list. So I know you might be thinking to this going, geez, even the concept of putting myself as my first priority ahead of my family and my business is not something I can do. But if you consider that if you keep putting yourself last on your list of priorities, you're going to run out of energy. You are of no value at some point to your family and your business and whoever else in your life. So hacking your thinking is about going, right, I need to give myself that time first. I need to make sure that my battery is full. I need to make sure that I'm fulfilled, inspired, I'm happy, I'm living the life that I want to live. Because if I am, then that filters down to everything else. My energy's at a level where I'm giving the best to my family, I'm giving the best to my business, I'm giving the best to my friends, and I'm not running off 10% energy where at some point I'm not going to be of any value to the other people on that list. So that's the concept of hacking your thinking, putting yourself first, going back to a space of knowing exactly who am I, what is going to make me happy, and not allowing society to define that for you. So there's a lot in here. There's a lot of meat in this chapter. And I give you a lot of tips, gratitude exercises. I explain the concept of the time and the energy management. And I also challenge you to give yourself that time, to find that 30 minutes to an hour a day, to go and do something that's going to fill up your tank. And I think in the long run, you'll see massive benefits to that. So that's a meaty one to get into, and I'll catch you next time for Chapter 6.